is part 2 of understanding spiritual things. Last time we talked a bit about the 3 heavens, which are really 3 dimensions. We talked about the heavens as we know it. When we look up and see the sky, that's the first heavens, but it's still on a physical level. When the Bible talks about heaven per se, it's not talking about a planet out there. It's not talking about a starship out there. It's not talking about the end of the universe where Jesus is going to come, and it takes so many light years to get here. That's still all physical plane, even if it's far away. But there are at least 3 heavens, as Paul reveals in Corinthians. And so, to me, the third heaven is the throne of God, represented by the most holy place. The first heaven is this outer court realm, which is where we live, which includes the physical universe. How many trillion light years away you want to go, doesn't matter. It's still in this dimension, theoretically, if you could get there. But then there is this second heavens, which represents really Pentecost, not really Pentecost, but the holy place, which is the in-between stage. And in this in-between stage, this is the area of spiritual warfare. It also has to do with the mind rather than the spirit. You see, because everything happens in threes, it seems. It seems like all of creation is by 2 or 3 witnesses established. And so you have the body, the mind, or the soul, and then you have the spirit. And these are all distinct. So there are 3 heavens. We talked also about how the light casts a shadow. When you put something in front of a light, it can cast a shadow on the wall. And this idea of types and shadows in the Old Testament are best illustrated by that particular word, because this is what it means. A shadow gives you something that is it reveals a certain amount of truth, but it's only like a profile. You don't really see the details, and in any case, it's a 2-dimensional profile that you get. If you don't really see it in a 3-dimensional image. So a shadow is only something that is evidence of something else that is greater, which the light is revealing. Now, this first heavens where we live in, where this is really a land of shadows in that sense, types and shadows, and that's why we see the signs everywhere. These are in many cases, these are types and shadows, even today. But this dimension that we live in was created right at the beginning when God said, "Let there be light." And the moment there is light, it casts a shadow. As soon as He turned on the light, now we have the existence of this realm in which there are types and shadows.